Jesus sets free the captive birds. And on a certain day, the child Jesus came to a place where a trap was set for the capture of birds, and there were boys there awaiting their capture. And Jesus, seeing them, said unto them, Who hath set this snare for the innocent creatures of God? Behold, in a like manner shall they be caught without mercy or thoughtfulness. Lo, these God's gifts to man. And Jesus beheld 12 sparrows, as it were dead, and he moved his hands over them, and said to them, Go, fly away in freedom, and while ye live, remember me. And the onlooking Jews, seeing this, were astonished, and went off and told it unto the priests. And many wonders were beheld wherever the child journeyed, and flowers were seen to spring up beneath his very feet from barren, rocky soil of old. And those that looked on stood in awe of him, and were amazed, for never were such wonders seen. For it was as if God himself were walking upon the earth, and all of nature sought after him, so as to worship his very presence. And all the holy creations were moved and impressed by his glory and understanding. For all living things seemed to sense him as something holy and sacred. Yea, even wild animals were subdued at the mere sight of him, or the sound of his voice, for no thing trembled nor was afraid of him. Even the most timid of creatures approached him without fear or hesitation, seeking the peace he alone seemed to offer and contain. And it came to pass, after many wondrous events in the course of years, that Jesus had reached his 18th year of age, and was espoused unto Miriam, a maiden of the tribe of Judah, and they lived according to the holy laws of a pure marriage, with all chastity, thus proving themselves undefiled and purified from all sin for 7 years before the eternal Father. But it was at this time that Miriam did see a fleshly death, for God took her, that Jesus might fulfill all things, even that which was spoken of him from the prophets. For Jesus came unto the world, that all things might return to their root. He came to release man from bondage to death, and to set every creature free before God. Thus Jesus would suffer a fleshly death for the sons and daughters of man, for upholding the purest motive of love. Fallen man had abused the love of God, and forsook his holy law for the commands and false doctrines of men and devils. Great was the coming mission of the Christ, and few understand the wisdom of it. Jesus was the perfect example of humane love on earth. As a man, he would excel in all things before God, as the spiritual Christ. Jesus knew and understood the wisdom of the law, and it was written of him. He came to renew the holy law and teach its true meaning among men and angels. And it came to pass that Jesus returned into Egypt to the holy Brotherhood, and was further instructed in truth and wisdom, even as Moses was before him. And there did Jesus meditate and fast in the desert sanctuary, praying and obtaining the miraculous power of the holy name, by which name he worked many wonders, and taught much wisdom of holy things. And for 7 years, Jesus, in the fleshly body of man, conversed with God the eternal all, as if face to face, for while in the spirit Jesus did know of all that is holy and pure, but now in the flesh did he experience all natures and the beauty of life and of the living creatures of God. And Jesus experienced the language of birds and of beasts, and even the fishes of the sea, and the healing powers of trees, and of herbs and grass, and of flowers, and also the purifying power of water, and the hidden secrets of precious stones in relation to all the creations of the earth. Small things, even unto great things, did Jesus come to know and understand in a great way. Thus in Jesus, the man, were all things revealed by God, even as all things were revealed unto him before he came. For there remained no thing hidden unto him, whether it be times and seasons of the sun and the moon and the stars in their appointed times and places, or the powers of the sacred letters and mysteries of the square and the circle, and the transmutation of things, and of forms, and of numbers, and of signs. Yea, Jesus did understand every law of nature, both visible and invisible to man. Even the very secrets of the aeons did he discern and know. So it was that there remained nothing hidden to his mind, for all the natural decrees of God were manifested in him and through him, making the silent to be heard, and the darkness light. For all the light of the holy law was in him, he being in God's rest from the very beginning of time, even unto his birth as a holy child unto the Christ. And Jesus was perfect, he being the law made flesh upon earth, to bear testimony to truth from above, that many would know of the Father's love and gentleness and true nature. And in time, Jesus ended his stay with his brothers and sisters of the Holy Way in Egypt and returned to Nazareth to visit his parents. And while there, he was approved as rabbi in Jerusalem, instructing many in the holy things of God, even in the temple, without interference.